Good day, YouTubers. Happy Sunday. Welcome to J&O Railroad. Day number 4 of our reconstruction. And yes, I will keep this short. Um, Yesterday, where I left off, I was telling you about some of my plans, how things might work out. I told you about a gap that I had over here that I got to fill. I'm thinking about a creek, folks. I think I can carve that down and make a riverbank off of it and make me a little creek. So that's my plan for now. Got some buildings in place. Here where I live, Pistol Pat's is near the lake, really near the lake. And where it was before, it was near the lake. But if I put it back where it was before, it'll be clear across the room. So Pistol Pat's will now be over here in this vicinity. And before I go over all this, none of these are permanent. This is just giving me a rough feel for what's going on. I gave Brian a house. He needed a house. So he now has a house where he can park, and his little deer are nearby. The tunnel is just sitting there for now because I have not glued my tracks down. Some of y'all may have noticed I laid some track yesterday. Some of y'all may have watched my short last night where I was showing off. It's not glued down yet. Yesterday I spent running these big 6-axle locomotives and my steam engines, making little tweaks and whatever I had to do, found trouble, so that I know that my big engines will finally run. A lot of y'all may not have ever seen my big engines. Some of y'all may have watched my tabletop shorts where I do the big stuff in the steamers that would never run on my layout. And I am happy to announce that I have a 280 steamer, my biggest for now. Runs well. I have a 260, runs well. I have a little tiny 440. It don't run very well anywhere. Poor little fella. It's on his last leg. You can hear him cry every time you run it. So I'm sure he'll run. I don't have any doubt. But you know, why put him to any misery? I'm just going to assume that the 440 will run. And then I have several 060s, and they all run well. Also, I was able to keep them running long enough that they would smoke, steam, whatever you want to call it, smoke. Something I never saw, never, ever, ever saw on my layout, a smoking steamer. And that was because I couldn't keep them running long enough to build the heat up. That made me very happy when I saw that. As for my 6-axles, I've got 2 of these SD40s-2. This one and an Athearn L&N. Both run real well. My E44 Heritage S70 Ace runs real well. My big EMD Jeeps, both of those run real well. And these are all 6-axle locomotives. My F40, it's not a 6-axle, but it's really big and strong and heavy, and it gave me nightmares on my layout. It ran fine on my table, but it wouldn't run on my layout. So it runs well. And that brings me down to my only problem. I have 2 Athearn Blue Box -9s, BNSF, one in a war bonnet, which I love, and then just one in the orange swoosh. I want to get them to run, but they still don't want to run. And believe it or not, it doesn't have anything to do with the new layout. They run fine. It's in my switches. My switches don't cause any problem except for the big -9s. And I haven't nailed down the exact problem just yet. Could be the bin, it could be the little plastic garbage that they put in there that knocks your trains off the tracks. Um, Regardless, folks, I'm like 90% on my locomotives now, which I used to be about 60%. I'm very happy about that. So if my Dash 9s never run, so be it. I'll run them on my table. I think, and I'm not going to try to dog anybody here, but I think it may be because they're Athearn. Athearn can be really, really picky. These Bachmann 6-axles are running around here like, who cares? So I may invest in a Bachmann Dash 9 just to see if, if that's the problem. And that's down the road. No big deal. I think that's it. We're at 6 minutes already, and I didn't want to keep y'all too long. Just wanted you to see I'm getting things back together. Things are starting to shape up and have a home, kind of start to make sense. I got lots of scraping and cleanup to do. Frank, Frank, hold on, Frank. Joe, I lied to you, buddy. I'm going to move your gold mine up here out of the way and easily seen. So it's going to take a lot of decoration still, but I think it'll be up there, man. And then, Frank, you're going to take over that spot where Joe was at. You're right on the highway, and you're going to have parking on both sides. Lots of cleanup and scraping to do here, but that's where you're going to be, man. I think, for now. I think I'll put my airplane park over there. Pretty close to where it was before. It was right there in that half of a triangle. It would just be right there. But I don't have enough room to put it back in there, and it would just, smudge everything up, or smush everything up. I got my little church, I think, where it's going to stay. Roadhog is almost where it was before as far as the layout. Remember the parking lot that I made for it? Only difference is there's no train running in front now. The train runs in the back. And of course it was on the other side of the room. My campground is going to continue way down here now. So my campground grew. And then I have campground here too. But like I mentioned when I started, I'm going to close with this statement. That I want to make into a creek. And I'm probably fill it all in here. I don't need it to be that long. And then maybe make like a break away here. And maybe even go all the way and fill the lake. It may just have to end up being one of those optical illusion things, where it just comes off over here and stops, and then you just have to imagine that, it went over here. I haven't decided yet. That depends on how much carbon and how easy things go when I start doing that. That kind of thing is way down the road, folks. My, excuse me, my progress yesterday basically was to get my track laid, and then I tested trains all evening long. Today, I scattered out some of my buildings to make sure everything would at least go on the layout, and nothing is permanent. My track is not laid down yet with glue, still tacked, and my plan is to glue it tonight before I go to bed. And then it'll have all night to dry, most of tomorrow or into tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I like to give it plenty of time. I don't want to have to do this again anytime soon. So, all right, there you have it. Day number 4. I will talk to you down the tracks.